Thank you guys for having me here. I'm very fortunate to attend this workshop with you guys. I'm very grateful. I'm joined today with another inspector, Rex Haraguchi. He's sitting next to me before. Right. So I'm from the plant quarantine branch, which is part of the Department of Agriculture. And you might be wondering, like, oh, why are we here? You know, obviously we are here to help facilitate and promote agriculture. And today I'm going to talk to you about maybe possible careers that you could probably teach to your students for the regulatory side of agriculture. Yeah. Just a little bit of background. Our quarantine program was started in 1888 by King David Kalakaua. So we have a long history of being in Hawaii, and it started from our last reigning monarch, which was King David Kalakaua. And he actually created the first quarantine law, which was to protect coffee. As you may know, like the Big Island produces Kona coffee, which is like really awesome. But each island also has their own good quality coffee as well. But from his vision, there were other quarantine laws that were added, which included non-domestic animals and also other plants as well. Here's a little diagram to show plant quarantine branch is part of plant industry division. And there are many other divisions that are a part of Department of Ag. So you don't have to become an inspector like I am, but your students can, have marketing backgrounds, they can have accounting, clerks and all that stuff, and they can all fit into the department. Yeah, so they don't have to always just be farmers or growers, but they can be a part of the whole total picture and to protect everyone here. So the plant quarantine branch is considered the first line of defense against invasive species because all agriculture items have to come through us if it's getting imported into the state. And we make sure that there's no diseases coming in and no new bugs or illegal animals that are entering the state as well. See, and our mission is to protect Hawaii from invasive species, protect the farmers, protect our horticultural industries, protect the environment, our natural resources, animal and public health, and also, the people, us, that live here. Yeah. Let's see. We do have offices on all of the major islands. So we have about 94 staff members in our plant quarantine branch, and about 80 or so are inspectors, and that's throughout the state. So of course, 80 inspectors to protect all islands. That's not a big amount of staff. So we are always looking for new inspectors to come on board, especially with people retiring and so forth. Yeah. Let's see. So we are the regulatory agency for the state, and we make sure that we look at live plants, so that's seeds, cut flowers, fruits, produce, non-domestic animals, so that's nematodes, worms, shellfish, insects, live seafood coming into Hawaii, reptiles, birds, microorganisms, so like we work with the university if they're going to bring in cultures for research and testing, and also soil. Some other activities that we do is permit issuance. So for any of the live organisms coming into Hawaii, it is processed through our office, making sure that, number one, it can come in, what type of we want to make sure what species is coming in, etc. We do inspections, of course, of plants, the animals, microorganisms. We also have a rapid response team. So our inspectors are trained in case of any an animal sighting, for example, like a snake sighting. We do send our inspectors out to Guam for training because you guys might know about the brown tree snake. That's a big problem over there. So we do send our inspectors out there for training, and in hopes that when they come back to Hawaii, there's a sighting, we're able to trap, capture, kill any type of animal. Also, like coqui frogs, for example, if there's any reports of them on Oahu or any other islands, we have our team to go out and capture these animals. Outreach and education. So that's my part. I do go to schools, and I do talk to kids, young kids to middle school to high schoolers, even seniors, senior citizen homes. Like if they want to come and visit us, people can come to our office. We do have a conference room. There's a preserved animal display or live animal display as well if you come to our office. And so it is a big part if people want to learn about invasive species and regulations as well. Yeah. So if you guys are interested in learning about invasive species and our regulatory part, I can come down and talk to your students as well. And we also do nursery certification. So we help to promote agriculture by supporting our local growers. We take samples of their plants. We make sure that the planting area, the certified planting area is clean, no fire ants, no coqui frogs and stuff like that, so that they can send their Hawaii material to the US mainland. Here's a picture. So we also attend like orchid shows. So this was from the Kunio Orchid Show. Yeah, Kunio Orchid Show. And so like we always get invited to that Kunio Orchid Show, and we work closely with the different societies because they like us, and we provide information to all the people who love plants and whoever attend. We also, as you may know, our Christmas trees come from Washington or Oregon State, and we do work together with their Department of Ag to make sure that they send clean Christmas trees or wreaths to Hawaii, and they're following the protocols. And cleaner material means less invasive species here for Hawaii. And here's a picture of an inspector in Guam where he's getting his training, and then they do search and hunt for snakes. Picture of another inspector. I think we were at Manoa Elementary. They had some kind of festivity, and so we had just had a little table, and we just talked to the students about invasive species and the rules and regulations. So interstate inspection. So like today we gave you the little tag for your plants. Plants traveling inner island they should be inspected. In that little white folder that I had passed out has some of our import regulations, our interstate regulations. Some things need inspection certificates, some things don't. So like cut flowers, for example, don't need inspection certificates from us, but it is subject to inspection, just random subject inspections. So yeah, we do make sure that we issue tags to people who are traveling neighbor islands, and that's just to make sure that they're not spreading any fire ants or frogs and whatnot. Also in the folder, there's some other pamphlets on little fire ants, coqui frogs, and whatnot. So you guys can look that up as well. If you have traveled to the mainland and come back, this declaration form is actually checked by us. This is mandatory to fill out. It's passed out by the flight attendants, one per family member. And basically, we want to know what you're bringing back to Hawaii, because we don't want you to be bringing back a snake, piranha, or whatnot. And it has happened, yeah. So actually, we do have amnesty bins at the airport. This amnesty bin, people can dump their undeclared items there. And
have you ever found anything in there?
We did. In 2006, we found a live ball python. But so we want to make sure that we educate our visitors and our local people to, when you travel, make sure you don't bring back anything that's not supposed to be here. But if you do, just declare it, and then we have inspectors on the baggage floor to check those items. Yeah, or confiscate items. Yeah. We do check the mail. So we are at the post office, FedEx, UPS, checking for live fish, plant material, fruits and vegetables coming in. Again, looking for compliance, looking if it can come in, cannot come in, any insects, any diseases on it. And yeah, so here's some of the things that we see in the mail: live plants, live fish, live seafood. Again, if it's live, it does need an import permit to come in. We also have a dog detector program. Right now we have two canines. We have Kai and Joffrey. So yeah, two dogs. They're housed in Halava. But that can also be another thing that your students might want to become a canine handler. So they have a dog with them to help in their inspection. It's very different than regular inspection, but primarily they are to look at military flights for brown tree snakes, and occasionally they will do mail inspection, and then later on they'll do baggage. But yeah, it is a possibility for your students who might want to become canine handlers. Oh, this was in Guam.
Oh,
yeah. That's typical, yeah, that you'll just see them on the fence like that. So when our inspectors go for training to Guam, we'll do fence line trapping like this, where we'll just go looking, driving around. But it's a major problem. Hawaii is unique, right? We have a native species here. There's no natural predators for any of these, like for snakes, for example, no natural predators to eat them, to keep them in check. And so that's why we make sure that we try to tell people, wherever you travel to, doesn't matter if it's in Hawaii or wherever, make sure you're not transporting illegal things, you're not doing anything bad that could harm, like our native birds, our native insects that we have here, our plants. So how do you become a plant quarantine inspector? And so this is something that I tell to the students that I talk to. Basically, you do need a science degree. So you need a science degree from an accredited university. Take coursework in plant pathology, which is the study of plant diseases, entomology, the study of insects. If you have those requirements, you can lift 40 pounds, have a driver's license, then you can qualify to become an inspector. Yeah. Right now, we're having a hard time because I do job fairs with our HR department. We are having a hard time finding qualified candidates because maybe they might have that interest to work with ag, to be regulatory, but they haven't taken the coursework. So we try to work with the university to kind of gear the students, hey, take these classes so at least you can qualify for this. Yeah. So the beginning step is, I guess, with your students, your middle school students, to start them to think about agriculture in different ways, from growing, from regulatory, that there are career possibilities for them in the future. For an example, for me, I grew up, my grandfather just taught me how to grow plants. And so I didn't think, how do you get a job doing that? That's so easy. It's easy to grow, easy to do. But learning about the university, having CTAR, and then graduating with CTAR, I actually, for internship class, I was supposed to work at a orchid nursery doing tissue culture. But for some reason, it didn't work out. He didn't want an intern. It didn't work out. But it was recommended that I go work at Plant Quarantine for an internship. And after meeting with some people, talking to the inspectors, doing my hours, I was able to get a job with the state, and I'm here today. So it kind of worked out in a way. But in the beginning, I didn't even know anything about this side of agriculture. Yeah. So we do have internships available, but I think it's mostly for college level. We haven't really decided if we're going to do high school or younger because of liability issues. They're young and the hours are weird, different. But yeah, later on, if we can work together, we can have people become interns, and then hopefully we can hire them. But again, Plant Quarantine branch is here, but yeah, there are many different places in ag where your students might want to fit, where they think they can fit in, not only with inspection work or regulatory work, but maybe pesticides, marketing, working with animals under our animal industry division. So there's endless opportunities in the Department of Ag for your students to get to. It's just maybe inspiring them to head in the ag way. Yeah. And I guess that's all I have for today. Any questions?
Thank you, Kent and Rex, for
being here today. Kent, my ag teacher who's going back to the mainland, but with a generous FFA grant, he took some FFA students to one of our feeder elementary schools with a presentation on the rhinoceros beetle. And he said that someone came in to speak to him. Was it your office who came in to speak to them? Because then they did an interactive activity with the elementary students. It was so exciting to hear the design challenge to perhaps make those black traps nicer.
It's fortunate that the CRB team, the coconut rhinoceros beetle team, is separate from us. We are part of, they are housed in our office in Sand Island, but it is a separate unit from the university. And it's people, and there is an outreach girl, Kylie, who goes out to, who probably met with your fellow, yeah. For us, we can't really target one because all invasive species is encompassed from the plant quarantine branch, yeah. But we do kind of just touch bases on LFA, cookie frog, and whatnot for under my presentation, yeah. But if anybody wants to have her come down and talk, we can always connect you guys to Kylie for that. But yeah, she does an awesome job.
Okay, so Kent is available for, and your counterparts are available on the neighbor islands?
Yes. Yeah, I'm available for if you want me to visit or visit your school or whatnot, or you can come to our office. Maui, we have some inspectors that can come out and talk to some of the schools. Big Island as well. But specifically, if you want, you can call me. I can get you into contact with everybody, and we can set something up.